Remember when Lost had this long-running joke that all the characters have daddy issues? It became such a thing that even the writers named one of the episodes All the Best Cowboys Have Daddy Issues. I feel like the same thing is starting to happen with anti-heroes now. It seems that all the best villains have mommy issues, and the Penguin is no exception. I know everyone and their mother loved this show. I get it. It's a very solid show. And definitely when you see it in a lineup of slobs we received this year, Penguin looks like an outlier. The good kind, because it actually develops a story, develops its characters, and has something to say. But when I was watching it, I couldn't help but think, I have seen this before, 1,000 times. And maybe that's disingenuous. I always struggle with not comparing to what came before. Film and television have such a rich history that spans centuries now and continents that it's truly difficult to see something new and original. But I always hope for it. Another thing is that good characters are boring now. Maybe that's a direct response to superhero genre fatigue, I don't know. But when even superheroes are boring, what chance do regular heroes have? Penguin continues the over 10-year-old trend of anti-heroes, morally grey characters, and downright villains getting their origin stories that have become so common on our screens now that they border on cliché. Bad people doing bad things because of bad society or bad conditions that corrupt even the best people into doing bad things again? Where have we seen that before? Only everywhere. There are so many things that are wrong with the current entertainment industry, but the nihilistic, pessimistic approach to every story told on TV and in cinema since the end of the Harry Potter franchise in 2011 has become boring to me. Since the emergence of Game of Thrones and Hunger Games exactly afterwards, we have been drowning in negativity, negating every moral norm, every authority, proclaiming lack of point or value in living righteously in this corrupted world. Bitter and nihilistic storytelling has become a norm, not an exception. And there's a good portion of an audience who grew up with only these stories told through media, who now believe that there are no inherently good people in the world, no objective good or bad, and that this approach is actually realistic. And I think consuming that amount of negativity also directly reflects how people behave towards each other in real life these days. Fictional storytelling has an immense power and influence. That's why we tell fairy tales to children, to teach them basic human values and instill a hopeful approach to life. Modern cinema is doing everything to squash that hope within us. Even Colin Farrell said he hopes they never make a second season to The Penguin Show, and noted that he watched a lot of kids' movies like Toy Story over and over again during shooting to escape this grimdark mindset and reality. That is also why every day another comfort show made before 2010s becomes viral and famous on streaming. Because even though we all agree that shows about anti-heroes are more serious, therefore more prestigious and worthy of all the awards, we still subconsciously gravitate towards stories that offer hope and make us feel better. I feel nothing for the new Penguin show because it is a show that offers no sense of discovery, which is crucial to fictional stories. It is nothing I haven't seen before in The Sopranos, Oz, Breaking Bad, Ozark, Peaky Blinders, Narcos, Sons of Anarchy, Game of Thrones, now even in Star Wars, and the Lord of the Rings universe. And I know that the Penguin is catching strays from me today, probably undeservingly so. It is a perfectly fine show. Good production design, good characters, good actors. But it makes me feel numb, completely apathetic to everything that is happening on screen. And you could argue if there is any character or any setting that would be fitting for a defeatist story, it is Penguin and the Gotham, the cesspool of all evil. But to me, the concept of Gotham, and I'm saying this as someone who has never read any comic book in my life, is only interesting if you contrast the worst of it with the best of it, with a hero who feels like Sisyphus, constantly rolling the stone up a hill, Why not insert a Harvey Dent type of character into this story? A hero for the people who is swindled by Oz and struggles against the gangs that threaten the peace of the city. Because without the hero to balance the nature of this story, we are left with another Joker. The Batman showed us a vicious world of Gotham, but still offered the glimmer of hope, the cautionary tale type of commentary on crime and need for heroism. The Penguin resembles the Joker too much for my liking. And when I say it resembles, unfortunately some themes seem to be copy-pasted here. There is no hope, no morally good characters, no point in trying to be better. If I had to name one thing that surprised me and interested me in this show, it would have to be the Arkham episode. The visceral, scary vision of the mental asylum for the worst villains in Gotham. It has never looked better or more horrifying. The question remains, if you wanted to do a show that is very nihilistic in nature anyway, why not go all the way into the Arkham storyline? Why not make it a Batman prequel with two simultaneous storylines, one with Sophia's struggles in Arkham and second with Penguin's ascent in the Falcone ranks? That way we could have had something truly special and chilling. As with any trend, at some point the pendulum has to swing back, and I'm waiting with the bated breath for that moment, when heroes will be in again, so to speak. The list of morally good characters that are interesting and inspiring is very long. So why is modern cinema and its audience convinced that we can't have characters like this again without them being boring? For me, the lack of contrast between the characters is what makes the story truly boring. In Penguin, characterization is a trick. All of the people in it might as well be the same person. They are all vulnerable, abused, with a penchant for madness, society's outcasts, rejected by their families, presenting a warm front, but rotten to the core and selfish. Bad people doing bad things for bad reasons. And when everyone is bad, then no one truly is. And that is kinda scary message.